Hey everybody, it's Rara, and welcome back to some more Satisfactory. In the last one, we basically finished up with our iron stuff, but I did forget something, so we'll get right back to that. And we also upped our concrete from like 40 to 100 or something? Why do I already forget? 90, yes. Their total ended up being 90. So it was a little bit more than twice as much as we were making prior, which is cool. I want to start off this video by saying that I need to address something here. I get comments all the time from people saying like, oh, hey, did you know about this little tip? Or here's why I do this that you should do. Why don't you do this thing the way I do it? And I'm just going to say this once, okay? And I'll refer people back to this video in the future. I'm not perfect, and I am just playing to the best way that I know how. But if I don't know the perfect ways to do things, it is what it is, and I'm not going to apologize for not, like, knowing everything and, like, being the best. As I have said time and again with this Let's Play, I am learning, and I am teaching, but at the same time, I am an eternal student to the craft of factory games. I'm always learning and trying to improve, and yeah, there's lots of people who are trying to help me improve. But you have to remember, Satisfactory is a very complex game. And I'm not saying, like, don't ever send me advice or, like, give me tips, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. But every time I mention a mechanic, there's always somebody out there who knows, like, the really in-depth part of, like, that specific mechanic. And it's been great, like, learning all this stuff. But it's just, like, a lot sometimes. And this is all very first worldy, you know, this is not really an issue that concerns any of y'all. It just has to fall on me, you know, to temper my expectations with the comments, or how do I phrase this? Just like, and you know, like, I'm not the biggest channel ever, so that means that I have the luxury of reading every single comment that I get. But that also means that I have to read every single comment that I get. I make it sound like a hassle that people want to help me and are just genuinely kind and nice, and I don't mean it for it to come across like that at all. I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, I am ever so developing my playstyle, and I'm always learning, and I know that I'm not perfect. And, like, the thing is, like, I don't know, it just kind of sucks getting corrected on something that, you know, so, because somebody will watch, like, episode, like, 4, you know, and then they'll comment to something I did wrong there. And now I'm, like, episode 30-something into this, and I'm like, yeah, I fixed that forever ago. Or, like, halfway through the series, I learned from that mistake, and I improved. So, I don't know, it can just be frustrating, like, repeating myself over and over again. And responding to people saying, like, yes, I know, I figured it out, thank you. Like I said, it's very first world problem, and I don't mean to bring this up on any of y'all. It's just a thought. Just something that I'm going through right now. But luckily I've got rather thick skin, so I'm just gonna just keep on pushing on. And everybody's trying to help and be very nice and helpful. So I always have to assume the best of intentions with people. And just go forward, keeping up the positivity, you know? Not in like a toxic positivity kind of way, but you get the point. That being said, focus on your mental health, people. Don't be like toxically positive. Oh, and also I've received comments about like my playstyle, about how like I'll do these builds that are kind of smaller in focus, you know, that don't really take into account the bigger picture as a whole. Thing is, like, I know exactly what I'm doing here with like the whole scope of it all. And let me just say this. These factories are not meant to last. I'm going to be changing all of this once again at some point down the line, and that may be frustrating for some, but it's just kind of like how I play the game. Like this whole thing, this redo of the Iron Factory we've been doing for the past few episodes now, this is not a permanent solution. This is a temporary thing. At some point in the future of this Let's Play, we will tear this all down and once again rebuild. Using more endgame stuff, more alternate recipes and tier 5 belts and all that. So yeah, just be prepared for that. This is how I basically progressed through, you know, all of my playthroughs of Satisfactory in the past, and how I will continue to do so in this playthrough. Okay, I hope that I've covered up all those things I needed to address. I'm not mad or angry at anybody. I hope it didn't come across as such, but I did want to say this just outright, so there's no more confusion about, you know, the way I build things or just stuff related to that. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get this episode started. So I had a thought, and then my thought was, if we're just going to be building copper sheets using the iron, then, I don't know, maybe we don't necessarily need to use the pure recipe and add the water to the copper. Maybe we can just use the copper raw, just make some sheets and some constructors. That'd be, oh, that'd do so much for my sanity right now, you don't understand. But before we do that, we actually have to go and complete the iron stuff, because I said that we weren't actually done. And what I meant by that was, I did the wire, but we never ended up doing the cables. So somewhere up here, we've got a, I guess over here, we'll make space to do a cable build. Alright, first things first, how much of this are we gonna use? So we're, oh wait, actually, sorry, ADHD, hold on. I need to fix a mistake from the last episode, or not the last episode, but from another episode. I don't know, I noticed a mistake, so we're gonna go fix that real quick. I wish I'd remember this sooner, but, you know, it is what it is. So this Mark II miner is on a pure node of copper, but we didn't overclock it to do 270, and we're only using 240. And that's a problem, because for those who are really astute and know exactly what we're doing with all this copper ore, you might remember that we have 9 smelters set up here for 30 each, you know, 100% regular base recipe. What's 9 times 30, class? Oh, that's right, it's 270. So yeah, I totally messed this one up. That was my bad. I had one more machine than I needed to. Well, okay, not an extra machine, just, you know, I didn't throw in the thing to overclock it, so we didn't have enough ore. And that was dumb. I don't know, Mark III belts always throw me off, because, like, they should be 240. Like, I know, I've learned to cope with 270, and I know that 270 can be divided into 3 lines of 90, which can become lines of 60 and 30 when you divide it and shit, whatever. It's fine. Mark III belts aren't the worst thing in the world. But honestly, the fact that they can only hold 240 at a max, you know, 100% Mark II miner without overclocking, and then the fact that the belts are 270, it just, yeah, that 30 difference, I always forget about it. I don't know. Anybody else make that mistake? Probably, right? It can't be just me. But yeah, that's an issue fixed. And now on to the wire thing, right? Yes, the wire thing. So what I was gonna ask when we were over there last, before I got interrupted by remembering that thing, was how much of this wire are we gonna use to make cables? That's an excellent question, disembodied voice. Well, if we about the constructor, we can see that the recipe for cables, we only have one in all of our things, so just the base, is 60 wire per 30 cables. And the way I see it, you need a lot more wire than you need cable for stuff, and I mean, well, you need cables for, like, power lines, right? But that's like their only main thing, at least for a while. Like, yeah, you need cables for the automated wiring, but it's really, like, not so bad, and as long as we can get 50 a minute, then you can get 2.5 automated wiring in the future. Or we can just do, like, this whole big setup for the automated wiring later, which, you know, uses new materials that we're not using now. It's a thing to think about for sure, but other than that, really, it's just, like, not a lot of stuff, but, you know, stators, those do require wires, so bigger priority for me. That being said, since we are making 270 wire, and if we used 120 of that, we could make 60 cable, which would be, you know, that'd be pretty nice. I think we had around that much before. I don't really know if we improved our wire and cable counts that much, but we were able to fit them in here with that wire, so that's pretty neat. We'll have 150 wire left over to do whatever we want with it afterwards, and then we'll be getting 60 cable, so that's cool. So, that being said, we know how much wire we need to take out. First off, in order to get this to work, let's build some stackable conveyor poles over here. Right over there. We want to use a Mark II belt since we're pulling at 120, and just attach it to the conveyor pole. Yay! Oh, that's awkward. Nah, that's not what I meant to do. How are we gonna get this to work, Lamau? What if we did this? What if we went over the chest? Wouldn't that be fun? Yes, yes, and then we can make this go a bit higher. Oh, maybe like 4 high? You think that'll work? Either 4 or 5, right? Gotta be one of the two. And then we go up. And then we go up. You think that's straight? Oh yeah, it looks straight. Oh, well done, me. So that's the Mark II. We're pulling out the 120 from the box, loving that for us. And now we'll just take this, this way, into this corner. And then we'll put it into this box. Yeah, oh, this is great. We have a little bit of space, right? So then we'll just set up, like this. Gotta get a couple constructors facing this way. We're gonna boop, 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 boop right there. Get them set up right next to each other. We got that cable recipe. 100% regular recipe, easy. And then knowing what we're dealing with here, we can set up the mergers preemptively because we're smart and cool. Like here and there. They're only giving off 30 a minute, so we'll use Mark 1s going in. And for the total of 120, we'll use Mark 3 because we can. And then they will run into a box right over here, lined up with all the other boxes all nicely. 1, 2, 3, into the box. Alright, so that's theoretically how it's going to work. Super simple, super tiny build, but I had to get this out of the way because we didn't have any cables being made, and that would have been not super great. Now all we really need to do is get the wire over here. So I guess we'll just set up the splitters preemptively. And we'll just find a way to get the wire to the splitters, and then really, we're kind of done. Just gonna set up power then. So, takes 60 a minute. Oh. When it's exactly 60, like I'm tempted to do like Mark II, but that should totally work. Like I said before, I was kind of a fiend for load balance stuff, so I'm gonna try to get this to work with this load balance. Or, you know, since we are pulling out the exact 120, I can't actually up that to a Mark III. I could totally load balance this if it was a Mark III or higher, but since we're using the Mark II, it's only gonna get 120 max down here, which is exactly what we need, but given the travel distance, we might not get enough to have this working at all times. Alright, you know what? In this instance, we will upgrade these to a Mark II. Yeah, just in case. Just to be safe. Okay, so we'll meet that over here. Can I grab the thing? No, grab the... There we go. We'll line this up right at the end. Boop, boop, boop. Grab you. Nope, you. Thankies. Nice. Looking good. Gotta stay high in the sky though, because we need to go over that. Just take up as little space as possible and do this very, very cleanly. Oh, you know, I shouldn't have had it stop right here. Let me just redo this really quick. We should have it try to stop right, boop, right there. Just so we can turn it and get a nice 90-degree angle. And then we'll set this up ready to do the next turn as well. So we want it facing this way. We want it to be right in the middle. We want it to be 2 into this one, like that. I believe that that's in the middle. That should work. And we just stack it up and pray to God. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. I think we can call that a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to grab this, come down here, and then right over here. You think we can... Hold on. I'll just set this up preemptively, don't I, where we just do like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, that'd be the height we need. Okay, perfect. And then we delete these. So now it's at like the right height we need. You think it can just turn in from there? Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. I already got that to be just how we want it. And it just goes right into the thing, which, once it gets here, we'll use the Mark III belt across. There we go. Hello, my lovelies. And definitely once we've let this fill, we won't have to worry about it anymore. We just gotta get it all filled up. But for that to happen, it needs power. And for us to give it power, we need to do that. Let's take this pole. And, okay, let's not take this pole. Sorry, we'll instead take this pole and do this. Do like a little branch off right in between these two. And we call the cable build a success. I'm using a Mark III belt to store all this stuff. What was I thinking? It's only gonna get 60 total. If anything, I'm just gonna Mark 1 this, man. It'll be a nice 60. There won't be like any gaps really. Oh yeah. This is more aesthetically pleasing, isn't it? No gaps in the belt. That's a good. And as you can see, it's not really piling up either, which is very cool. It's just keeping a steady flow. And it's, yeah, just looking nice. that is cables. Once again. Because we've built all this stuff like 3 separate times. Oh, and speaking of which, let me just disable this. Oh, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I deleted a box while I had all my shit. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let me go grab the cables and then move them to the thing. I'm just hoping that this episode goes by quickly because I'm tired, man. I don't want any more episodes that are like 2 to 3 hours long. And I know I'm playing Satisfactory, so that's like a pipe dream, you know. Like, this is what I signed up for, basically. But man, it is rough editing these sometimes. Because, you know, like the Pikmin, I can't really do like a second take of that. I mean, I've told myself I'm not allowed. So however those time dazed in Pikmin go, I usually do like 1 or 2 of them an episode, maybe a little side mission. Those can really only ever be a max of like 30 to 45 minutes. And then the editing takes maybe an hour, like an hour and a half. But then Satisfactory, I just gotta keep going until I make progress, you know? If I place down like a single constructor and I'm like, oh, in the next one I'll place another constructor, that's not progress, so I don't like, yeah, until I cross that internal threshold of like, oh yeah, I've made some progress this episode, I don't like allow myself to end the episode. But what I found is that like as the scale of things keeps rising, my like inner mediator that tells me when I can end the recording session says no, you're not allowed to end until like it keeps, like it doesn't care that things are scaling up. My I don't know, standards, my quality just keeps rising, so it's like, nope, you gotta keep going for longer and longer, getting more and more content. And if I don't keep this little demon in check, we're gonna get episodes that are like an hour and a half long that take me all day to edit, and that will be a nightmare. What I should do is record episodes in bulk and then just like have like a section of a day, or like maybe like a couple days a week just dedicated to editing and not like doing any recording at all. But I'm in like this flow right now where just I'll record the episode that I need for that day, and then I'll do the thing. Doing it this way also allows me to keep in touch with the comments in case somebody comments something, you know, on the most recent episode, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's still fresh on the brain, I can still get to that. But for a while there, in Pikmin 2, I did have like a bit of a backlog going where I would record like 3 episodes of each, because I actually, you know, the Satisfactory scale of things was a lot smaller, so I actually was able to do a few episodes of that per day, really, and not like get tired out. It's just like a whole different beast, is what I mean to say. But yeah, trying to make these episodes go by fast. But like that's the plan, you know, going forward. Or at least to like get more done in like a smaller amount of time. Anyway, long rant is long. We finished out the cable thing. Words evade me sometimes. I was trying to say copper, but I meant to say cable. And now we're going to do, something else. Let's see. So we finished up the iron stuff. We finished up concrete. We have a couple options where we could just do the copper, which will give us a lot of those, the sheets. Those, what are they called? You know, the pipe sheets, like the copper sheets. Yeah, they just, yeah, okay. Sorry, I keep calling the tier 1 plates the iron plates. I call those iron sheets. I don't know, it's just like a habit of mine. So now I can't think of the copper sheets as that. It's weird. It is what it is, though. Man, we got a couple options, is to work on the copper or to do the steel stuff. And I think we should just get the copper out of the way, and then we can call that an episode, and then we'll just do like, I think the next one will focus entirely on like rebuilding all the steel, going back up the mountain and making those Mark II miners, you know, just upgrading all that, and then working on like a steel thing. Like I said in the last one, or it might have been the last one, but I'm gonna realign this floor. I don't like how like those are straight, or straight-ish, you know, with each other, the iron and all that stuff. And then this one's just kind of like at a weird separate angle. So like I'll totally redo this, and then we'll upscale our steel stuff, so that'll be fun. And thinking a little bit further ahead, that means we'll be able to start making Mark II materials that we never even made before, and then we can actually make like, you know, for the first time in half a dozen episodes, you can make some real progress rather than just like rebuilding things. So that'll be fun, right? Because, you know, the rebuilding will be done at some point in the future. Ah, the distant future. Feels like a long ways off because I'm in the present, but you'd be surprised at how fast the present flies by. And then you're 24 and you're like, man, I'm still playing video games. No, Rara, bad Rara. No existential crises on the YouTube video. I don't know. I think gaming is something that I'm going to be doing for my whole life, but just maybe at like a smaller scale than I have been. Because, you know, as I get older and my hands start wearing out each day from playing, I feel the gaming fatigue now. You know, the physical fatigue. I'll probably never be like mentally done with games, but I'm at a point in my life where I don't know, they should probably take like a back seat to real world stuff, and it would honestly be pretty damn good for my hands and my wrists and my arms in general. But you know, it's just one of those things that I've learned in life, and it's that, you know, everything in moderation. It used to be, right, that I could play games for 20 straight hours, no energy drinks, no coffee, just 20 straight hours and be totally fine, ready to keep on gaming some more if I felt like it. And somehow, I always had like these endless wells, these bottomless reserves of energy when it came to just playing games. I would phase out the whole day, you know, as a teenager, like a little fucking gremlin that I was, and just play non-stop, like 16-hour sessions. Wake up, game, go to sleep, and achieve nothing but have played some video games. That is it. Nowadays, though, if I play even for like 4 hours a day, I already feel the fatigue in my hands and my wrists. And I did talk a little bit about my like RSI stuff a couple episodes back. But I don't know, I guess I'm just finally like fully coming to terms with I have to not game as much. And that's also why I'm really liking, and you know, the older I get, like the more, like the less in tune I am with like multiplayer games. You know, competitive shooters, or these kinds of like really addictive, like I don't like battle royales, thank God. But if I did, you know, those are like the very repetitive strain kind of games, like mess you up in the long run. You know, think like Apex or Fortnite, stuff like that, where you can just grind those games out all day. Like, if I were younger, you know, if I was from like the newer generations, like you know, if I were like Gen Alpha, I could totally have seen myself just playing Fortnite 16 hours a day if that was my crowd. I don't know, I kind of grew up thinking that Fortnite was a little cringe, but you know, to each their own. And it's a decent enough game. I did end up playing it a few times over the years, and I have definitely moved past my cringe phase where you know, you consider everything you don't like cringe. I talk like I'm some old man now who's all wise and philosophical. He's got everything figured out, you know, 24. But it's just I'm witnessing how I'm changing over time. And because of that, you know, since I don't really like grind like any League of Legends anymore, my hands, like, they're doing better. And I find that with games like Satisfactory and Pikmin that I can just have a good time, play for a little bit, and not take it so seriously all the time. But yeah, I guess this is kind of like a small life update where I just mean to say, I am going to find another hobby besides anime and video games. And when I find that other hobby, I'll let you know what it is. Because there has to be something out there that I can do with my life that isn't entirely on the computer all day, you know? That being said, wasn't there another copper ore somewhere around here? I thought there was two. Nah, game, you're gaslighting me. There was two copper ores, or veins around here somewhere, wasn't there? Oh, maybe that was like the two iron things. And hey, I see you having respawned again. Go fuck yourself. And I didn't want to use more power shards, but alright. Crank it up to 480 so we can use the Mark IV belt. I think the issue here is that this is all just going up to the pipes. Well, maybe it's not an issue. I don't know, it's gonna make that whole build up there just very trivialized. It's like a lot of you know, constructors. Anyways, let's just replace all these belts with Mark IV belts. Oh. And this conveyor lift. Man, talking about all this RSI stuff is really messing me up, because, like, I don't know. I'm thinking more about mortality and shit. It's fun. It's very fun stuff. You know, when you're young, you're basically immortal. But now, for the first time in my whole life, I'm finally understanding, like, no, I'm slowly deteriorating into dirt. I'll eventually return to the dirt from whence I came and feed the cycle of life. That'll be fun. I miss feeling like I was immortal. Can I go back to that? Oh, Jesus. Anyways, let's just delete this whole setup since it's now entirely useless. But we will keep this storage container, I guess, because it has a lot of those in it. And, oh, jeez. We don't have space to delete all this without making a mess of my inventory. Yeah, okay, before we do this, let's set up a box. Always setting up little inventory boxes, it is what it is. Store. Okay, now we're just gonna be delete happy. Nice. Well done, me. We'll keep those smelters there since, you know, I'm not really gonna mess with that, I don't think. Okay, I've cleared out all the gunk in the way. Let's get to building after I dump, like, all of these wires and cables and stuff I don't need. Okay, now we're good. Well, actually, we might want to split up these two into two lines of things. We definitely don't have enough space to keep going that way. So we're going to have mergers here for those guys, over that way, and then we'll have splitters here, and then smelters here, and then more mergers here. And so it'll all merge up over there. Okay, I guess we already kind of had that going a little bit? Where did this splitter go to? Oh, to other things going that way. Okay, so we'll upgrade this to a Mark IV. Mark IV. And then we'll Mark IV it down? Yeah, we'll Mark IV it down. Okay, we've upgraded all those to Mark IV belts. Oh, and then in that sense, we will want to actually delete the last smelter. Yep. Yep. Because, since we have 480 ore now, 480 divided by 2, 240, so if we have 2 lines of 8, we'll get our desired result. Wait a minute. Having deleted that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I just miscount before? Was my build actually correct? I only used 240 of it because I knew that I only had 240 coming out of the miner. Yeah, I think I just miscounted an extra smelter that wasn't there earlier, and I thought, like, oh, I easily made that mistake, duh. Well, never mind. I need to re-add that smelter now. Yay. Add this copper ingot. Give me the splitter. I feel silly. Anyways, and we go with the Mark 1, and we have to add this to power again with, what was that, this one? No, yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, small little goof. Small goof, but it is what it is. Now we will Mark 4 this way too. Well, hold on, let's delete this first, and oh god, yep, I know. My inventory is totally full, but I'm trying to spend it on stuff. Here, let's start off by making mergers for these smelters first. Yay, splitters! And then since they need 30 a minute, we'll Mark 1 in to all the splitters. Very cool. And then since it's going to be a 240 total, we will Mark 4 down and then use a Mark 3 at the end. Yeah, so right here on this one, we'll make this a Mark 3. I'll leave this here for now, just so I can remember to use that Mark 3, but I'll probably delete that and then redo it later. Okay, and then here we just want to copy those mergers and just set up a line of splitters that is, like, you know, equal with them. Then we'll set up another line of smelters right in front of them. Very nice. It's all coming along now. And now we just grab this with a Mark 4 belts, get ready to go 90 degrees this into the thing like that. Boom. Mark 4 all the way down. What? How? Alright. Alright, I love it when they're feisty. When their conveyor belts have a mind of their own. What, is that a? Oh yeah, that's a box. Okay. Really? I haven't used enough materials yet for me to get some space? Get some inventory space? Darn. Oh, and then we'll copy the recipe here. Copper ingots. Paste it all over. And then Mark 1 belt in. Now we'll give them some power. Super duper simple. And last one. Boop. Boop. Yay! Okay, so we have about double the amount being made now. Okay, so I need to set up mergers at the end over here too. Also facing this way so that we can merge with that other line in the back there. Here, give me a merger. face it that way. Keep it in the middle. And line it up with these. Okay, mark 1 in. And mark 4 down. Now we will set a merger facing this way, facing that way, right here. And we will mark 3 there. So we marked 4 all the way down to make sure it arrives here. Then we'll use the mark 3 since it's only moving 240. Only transporting that much. And same story here, where we will use a mark 3 belt here to move another 340 or 240. Line it up with this, get a good 90-degree turn in. Boom. Okay, here's where 480 copper ingots meet up together. Very nice. So obviously we're going to use a Mark IV belt here. But before we do that, let's set out the machines that we're going to need. I think it's just a bunch of constructors all lined up in a row. Copper sheet, base recipe. If it's 20 ingots a minute, and we have 480, we can divide that and get 24 machines. Not sure if we want to do that, per se. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This thing goes about 10 across as it currently stands, or at least from the blank. 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13. And we don't exactly have enough power shards to... I mean, I was using about, what, 12 power shards in my old copper stuff build. Like, I got all these from tearing all the stuff down. So we do have some we could use. But in order to cut down from 24 to, like, 11, I would need 18 machines. Well, you know what? We'll just do it like we did the smelters. We're not going to overclock any of these. We're going to have several rows and rows of constructors, though. Okay, so we've got that figured out. Why is this still up? Oh, because that's the current home for that. We might need to move this, though, since we're gonna have to push it back a little bit. Here, let me just make another thing. Put my stuff in it. Okay, cool. Then we delete this, all of this. We make a temporary chest for that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Temporary chest for those copper sheets. Alright, everybody still with me? Then we delete this chest so I can build. And let me think. So we have 24 constructors that we need to build. We have a max capacity of 11. If we had 12, then it'd just be 2 rows. But I'm thinking we're gonna have to go 3 rows with this, which would mean 8, because 8 times 3 is 24. So a merge here, and then we can just go here, start splitting there, go down the line there, and then the first constructor will be right here. And we'll just do 8 across. Very good. Yeah, we're splitting there. We're merging there. We're splitting here. So the next constructors are up here. That's row 2. So we just need a gap of 2 between each. Okay. So I need to expand the floor a little bit. Oh, what, zooping mode. Yeah, these factories are getting mighty close to touching. I think they're, like, oriented the same. Yeah, totally. But they're not like lined up. So, or are they? That seems to end right where that ends, actually, or, you know, pretty close. Oh, yeah, actually that does kind of, match up. Looking at it from this angle, though, it feels like this is an entirely different angle altogether, and that they're gonna, like, intersect in a weird way. But if you go over here, you can see that that's not actually the case. That they're totally lined up, I guess. Parkour! Yes, sir! Well, that's good to know, I suppose. I feel like we're gonna have to cut down this tree. I've been contemplating doing this for a while now, but this tree's just kind of in the way of stuff. We're gonna leave it alone for now. But push comes to shove, that tree's going. That tree's on its way out. Okay, let's build the last constructors right here. Alright, 3rd row done. Oh, you know, I had the idea to just go into a splitter right there and down the one line, but then we kind of have to, like, snake around. So instead, let's delete these really quick and turn this merger to be faced that way. Okay. In you go, boys. Wait, where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Nice. So now it's facing this way. And we just need to set up splitters at certain intervals, like here, and there, and there. And then tons of splitters down each line. We get ones facing like this. And then we turn them around to go down this line. And I'm just going to do this for all 3 lines that we need. Oh, that's a lot of splitters placed, but we did it. We're going to set every single one of these to be using copper sheets at the base recipe. And we just paste it into all 24 machines. Alright, recipes copied. Now we drag from here our Mark IV belt and we bring it into that first splitter. In we go. And then we just Mark IV across and down between every single line. So across first. And then working my way back, I'll just do down this line, that line, that line. You get the point. What? No, don't. What? No, why does this... Why does this keep happening to me? I'm losing my touch. Ah, I need more beams, fuck. And then you guessed it, since we're only taking 20 a minute in, we do Mark 1 in for all of them. Okay, we've done the do. Now since this side's all used up, we'll be merging facing that direction. And then I guess we just store. Oh, that means we're going to need one more thing. Okay, that tree has to go now. It's getting in the way. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Alright, no more tree issues. Very fun. So we will just set up mergers in front of each of these, all facing that direction. We'll mark 1 in all of them, and then mark 4 down for them. You get the idea. Oh, so many splitters and mergers, holy shit. So many splitters and mergers, but yeah, I've found throughout the years that I just enjoy the repetitive task. I don't know, it's just, it's so... I receive dopamine by completing, like, stuff like this. It may be repetitious or monotonous, but my brain enjoys it. It's just relaxing, I guess. Well, oh, one person brought up, why do I always have the sword out? Honestly, sometimes I just forget it's there. I just always use it because I like having it out. But yeah, I mean, if they want a better screen clarity, I have no issue to not do that. In fact, I probably should. So I just probably won't hold it out as much. And dang, okay, this factory's getting, it's getting bigger. I didn't realize how big the iron factory looks from that angle, but yeah, we're getting there. We're expanding ever so slowly. I don't know, is this slow? Do y'all think the pace of this series is too slow? Not like I would actually change how fast or slow I'm going based on what people said, but just like wondering what the idea is, what the consensus is. I think it's going at a breakneck pace, honestly. This is, for me, it feels like we're moving fast. Anyways, since we're going to be getting 80 sheets per line of things here, we're going to use a Mark IV belt down, as we did, but we'll use a Mark II belt to merge these all together. So we will use a merger right here. Unnecessary mergers or POG, we believe that in this house. And this will be a Mark II belt, like I said. Or, well, actually, you know what? No, this will be a Mark IV belt. Copy that over here by setting up a merger next to these mergers with a Mark IV belt going into it. And the same thing with the last row. We will also Mark IV down. Right, and then we'll grab this chest and we'll just store it in here. Right there. And since the total is 240, we'll use a Mark III belt. Okay, very nice, very nice. Now we just need to give it all power. So we'll grab this pull and just start jerking it along wherever the hell we need it. And yeah, I'll see you when I've set up all the power between this. It's just as we do, we go in between two constructors. 1, 2, on to the next one. Just keep dragging the more poles between each of the rows. And final 2. There we go. We did the thing. And I think that before we do this, let's just cut that off there. Remember to use a Mark III belt. We want this all to fill up. We just want it all to fill up. Let them all fill. Yay, making a lot more copper sheets than we were before. Probably, right? Probably. I think we're only making like 20 a minute. Now we're dealing with 240, so that's a pretty big upgrade for copper sheets. Anyways, I'm gonna let this fill up off camera and then receive a metric crapload of those. And yeah, I have been Rara. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Satisfactory. And I'll see you all in the next one, where we will, I guess, do the steel, reform. No, just entirely just work on that. And, ooh, nice. You know what? It's already full. Hold up, I can replace the thing. Oh, Jesus. Give me back my box. This one. Why did I make that box? I don't even know why I made that box. Oh, that was the old one. Okay. Yeah, let's just replace this. And the next one, we're gonna work on the steel factory. So, yeah. Anyways, until then, have a good one, everybody. See you then. Bye.